Hello, everyone. It's been a minute. It's been a while since we played 762. It was a long time ago, before right as the Corona thing were happening. Just you know, I was streaming it, and I was playing very slowly and very badly. And since then, I don't know why I wanted this series that I eventually did on this game. I wanted it to be better. I wanted a certain level of quality there. It's not something you can normally expect from me. Quality is not normally a thing that I strive for here. Quantity of output. The DSP approach. But this one, I don't know why I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it better. I've learned a lot about the game in the meantime. I've watched some... There's not much on the internet for it, not in English anyway, but I've looked at what I could find. And we're doing things a bit differently this time. We are going to be starting over, but we're going to be playing a lot quicker, and I reckon we'll catch up almost immediately to where we were. Especially knowing some extra tricks we can use to cut corners. This time, however, we are not going to be playing on hard difficulty. This is what we're going to be doing. I did want to turn everything off, but show hit probability is very important to me. And in my opinion, it just gives you information that you should have anyway. It's like if the gun is touching a wall, so the bullets will hit the wall when you shoot, and you don't actually have a line of sight at all. It won't tell you that if you don't show hit probability on. Just stuff like that. Or if your character can't see the enemy because it's dark and they're too far away. So I do think we need that, but other than that, we're even going to be playing with low adrenaline switched off, so it's normally considered a bad idea, but I did want to try it. And besides, this is going to be a rehearsed series. This is going to be I don't know. We'll try things as many times as it takes to get a good run. Now, experience is going to be a much more important stat this time because it determines what it takes to make your character panic. I wanted to play this with the kind of suppression system actually turned on. It does seem to be a bit much, so most people turn it off, but we are going to try it. I wasn't really sure who we were going to play as. I do like this man's mustache. It's hard to turn down Ivanov. Look at the boy. And we are going to go for mostly shooting and a little bit of snapshot. The other stuff isn't immediately important. And your character starts off good enough at this other stuff. That said, though, I'm not really sure what class I was going to pick. What we could do is go heavy weapons. Now that we have the suppression system in place, maybe it's important that we go heavy weapons. We're not going to put too many points in heavy weapons right now, though, because it's going to be a minute before we get one. And we do want to be functional throughout the opening of the game. I should probably describe stuff, because I'm expecting this to be... You're not going to need to watch the other ones. It's very slow and kind of bad. What we're doing now is, this is on one of the mods. When you start the game, you get to pick some extra stuff. We're just going to put points in shooting. We're going to be doing a lot of shooting, and it's going to need points. For the attribute points, we're going to pick dexterity. Because dexterity governs how fast you do things. We'll go through these very quickly. If I can remember how. It's not the inventory. Here we go. So we have parameters and skills. Skills is fairly obvious, how good you are at things. The shooting stats might need a little explaining. Snapshot is firing from the hip, which you'll only ever do at very close range, but characters that are good at it can expect to actually hit the thing that they're firing at close range, whereas characters who are bad cannot, unless they're basically touching the target. Shooting is for most shooting. It doesn't apply to snapshots, and it doesn't apply to using a scope, but anything else is just shooting. Mid-range, long-range, anything. As long as there's no actual magnified optic attached to the weapon, it's shooting. I'm not sure how that interacts with heavy weapons, because you do shoot those. We'll find out. I think heavy weapons is more... Shooting still your accuracy, and heavy weapons is how he manages the larger guns. Up here we've got health, fairly obvious. That's when you run out, you die. You run through health very quickly in this game. One well-placed shot will probably kill you. Even if it doesn't kill you outright, you might end up having your character just bleed out and not really be able to do anything about it. If the main character dies, the game ends immediately and kicks us back to the main menu. Energy is how much we can run around. On this setting, I normally turn it off, but on this setting, the characters will get tired and they'll lose max energy until we rest. Strength is how much stuff we can carry. Stamina is something. I'm sure it's very important. I looked at some guides, didn't look at all the guides. Dexterity is how fast we do things. Reaction is how fast we do certain things, and it might affect how frequently we panic. We don't want to panic. Panicking's bad. Agility is how fast we run. It's not how fast we handle weapons. That's dexterity. Intellect makes our other stats go up over time. It's very good. Experience is largely what dictates how often we're going to panic. Or how fast our adrenaline's going to build up, which makes your character less accurate, but faster at doing things. Eyesight and hearing are fairly obvious, although you might not expect them to be stats in a video game. I'm sorry about the jank camera movements, by the way. It's just like that. This is the slowest you can turn it down. Do we need this stuff? You know what, we'll take the tiny pistol. I'm not sure about that one. We're only taking this because it doesn't take up much space. We don't really want the ammo. This stuff is always here in the cart. We're going to take the smoke grenade, but we're going to sell it. We've only used one once ever, and it crashed the game. Actually, nah, forget that. Medkits are more important. Now, when I played previously, I went to Puerto Viejo, which starts the campaign thread that we're going to be pursuing first. However, we can go right to the end of it. We don't need to go to the start. We can go to the end. And you can see the blue bar going down as Ivanov becomes slightly tired from his trek. And this were a good thing to find out, because you do have to do a lot of trekking around all over the country, if you don't know about this. But instead, just go right to the end. You just gotta remember where he is. And now, sorry about that, I was using WASD to... Okay, the camera movements are a bit strange still. Oh, first thing we're going to need to do is talk to this con artist. That's the blanket name for shops throughout the game. And we need to see what he has. And we need to hope the game doesn't crash. Because sometimes it does when you open a shop. Because there's too many things in the shop. This is because on top of the Blue Sun mod, which is a very good mod and basically necessary for the game to be functional, as on top of adding a bunch of things, we're running the Mercpocalypse mod, which I didn't remember last time. But once you've seen a shop with this many things in it, it's hard to go back. Now, the stuff we're being offered right now is largely garbage. The pistols are a bit better, but they're still just pistols. These weapons may look like MP5s, but they are in fact in 22 long rifle. They are replica MP5s. The Scorpion's real. And we could take it. Scorpion's actually alright at this stage. You can fold out the stock and it's considerably more accurate than a pistol. But I was looking for a shotgun. We've got a few options for shotguns. Tempted to just buy a 12 gauge that's long. Might end up with a 20 gauge here. We're not going to take the mare's leg this time. It's a little bit inaccurate. Shotguns aren't accurate weapons in this, but with the spread, you do increase your hit probability a lot. And you can even hit people beyond the range where the game believes you have a functional shot. I'm just going to go with the Tuz, I think. What do you reckon? We're not going to use it for too long, so we don't want to break the bank here. Could probably sell a medkit. I'm going to sell that magazine, actually, as well. Just to tidy up the inventory a little. We do like having grenades. And we will definitely need shotgun shells. I'll buy a box of them now. Finding ammo for weapons when there's this many different types of them in the shop is difficult. If you mouse over a gun and there's ammo for it in the store, it will light up. So this is the strategy, just keep scrolling down and mousing over the weapon. And we can pick between, we have slugs. Slugs are a single projectile that's a bit more powerful than any other type of shotgun ammunition. We have regular buckshot, which is, I think it's still 9 pellets for a 20 gauge. Normal shotgun. And then we got the number 4 buck, which is lots and lots of very tiny pellets. Useless against anything with armor on, unless it gets through and hits a gap, which it might well do, considering how much of it there is. But the game seems to think it's a bit... It doesn't go as far, and the game tends to think it's a bit weaker than the alternatives. I've forgotten how to make the roof go away. Hold 1 second. Camera, that's the one. Normally it does this on its own. Delete and insert. I had to change that because there were buttons that weren't on the keyboard. Yeah, there we go. Normally it's kind of supposed to do that on its own, but it sometimes doesn't. And we can just talk to Paquito without ever being told where he is. And that's fine. And we're not going to read the dialogue here. It's sometimes difficult to read. Sometimes it's bad. This game has a lot of bad things, and I'll try and warn you in advance if something bad is about to be said. Lots of stupid things being said right now, but nothing I'd consider too bad. Right, now what we're meant to do is go over here and kill this man for taking Paquito's baby. What we're going to do instead is run over here and look at these boxes. She might... Well, as you'll be able to tell, the game is real-time with pause. So, everything runs in real time, we can pause the game to assign order. And sometimes, Ivanov will have a little bit of trouble getting through here, because he is walking through a solid wall. But he's got through it quite easily this time. And sometimes you'll find something in one of these boxes worth having. It'll show up, you get weapons, ammo, gear, and misc all in different sections. And it'll show up at the earliest one that has a thing in it. That it has a thing in it for. So if it's on ammo, there may well be gear and misc hidden in there. There wasn't this time. Good to know if you're playing this game though. You might not be looking at all the boxes well enough. For example, body armor. Very nice find this earlier. And sometimes there's a weapon in here. But not always. We didn't get it. There is a weapon in there, but it's not the one we were looking for. There's sometimes a PPSH submachine gun in there. At this stage in the game, we'd take that over this garbage shotgun I just bought. There's a couple more boxes, so we're gonna think about things to explain. Yeah, so instead of killing that man and starting the gunfight, which means you'll be fighting a rolling battle through the streets, not really knowing where the enemies are coming from, probably at night, especially if we went straight here, then it'll always be night. Oh, we got 1911. I might have to take that. Last time there was a guy in the chat, because I was streaming it, who wanted a 1911. The whole time. Let's take a few bullets for it as well. The pipe bombs are bad, but... I was hoping to find... You can find extra pouches for your inventory. I was hoping to find some. But it seems like I was unlucky, and we didn't get any of those. We can bring an axe if we want. Oh, goodness. Okay, putting on the hat did something to the game, but we're back now. There are melee weapons in this game. Melee is strange in this game, and it's not reliable. You can throw hatchets at people. Sometimes they even hit. Not entirely sure we need to check out down there right away. There is more stuff. All the enemies are probably in the right spot. Probably in the right spot now. I'm gonna have to drop this 1911 at some point. We'll pick it up later. Now all the enemies should be in the correct position, so the fight should be a lot easier. Here's open. Now, funny thing about glass in this game. Let me just put that on the floor. I'll toss it randomly into that corner. You can't actually see through glass in this game, but you can shoot through glass. Once the glass is broken, then you can see through. Oh, and there are the enemies. So these are all the people who we would be worrying about later. And they don't really mind that we've just shot out the window. They're gonna mind in a minute, though. We're gonna give them both barrels, and we're just gonna open up without saying anything. This is by far the most effective way to deal with these boys. Oh, just give me a minute to get my gun out. Okay. We are gonna want to run away. He is definitely aiming at us. But he saw his mates go down there. Freaked him right out, it did. Not sure if we should reload or if we should pull out the garbage pistol. Oh, he's definitely shooting back. And we want to ready the weapon here. Although he's going to be watching the window. We want to get him to move. We do have that pipe bomb. Let me just do a sidestep here. Now, like I said, combat in this game is very dangerous. We did find that bulletproof vest, which is really useful right now. I actually did some extensive testing, and I've worked out what items the enemies can have at this point. He either has a revolver, which could be a 38 or a 44, or he has an automatic pistol. Any way about it, we don't want to get hit by that close range, even with the bulletproof vest on. Although, it'd probably save us from being one-shot. Let's step out a little bit more. If he moves, we've got him. Another thing I found out, while we're here, is you can throw items from the inventory. Hearing stuff. What are we hearing? Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Yeah, we heard that guy move. We're not worried about that guy right now. We're worried about the one in this room. Okay. Ammo's ready. This guy's gone out. We probably hit him there. It looks like we probably got him. He's certainly not happy. We're going to cancel that move and we're going to try and shoot him. He's ran a little bit far now. So we're going to swap to aimed shots. Although we got him with the first one. Never mind. You've always got to assume you're going to miss the next shot. It's helped me so far. Let's get in there. Once an enemy's down, the easiest way to finish them off is to kick them to death. The kick is a move you can only do against a downed opponent. It does ridiculous amounts of damage. It does about as much as those 44s I were worried about. About equivalent to one kick. If they're standing up, you'll only do a punch, which is far weaker. Now, I'm a bit worried about this. We're going to need to go into first person. We don't have a good line of sight. Although he's going to try and run, it looks like. He's take a quick shot. I love this first-person view with the floating gun. We did wing him. He's going to be stunned for a minute, so we're going to try and finish him off. It zooms in as your character's aimed in properly. Okay, he's running. We do need to kill this man, unfortunately, even though he's... Did I hit him again? I thought they were missing, so I came out of aim. Let's try one more. I think that's going to hit him as well. Oh, I was wrong. So he's running as fast as he can. And that's a shame, because we're going to have to chase him. It's going to take me a minute to reload that shotgun, because I've not done an important step in quickly reloading shotgun etiquette. Let's see if he comes out. We don't want to chase him around the corner, because he has a knife, I believe. And as such, if he can get... We might still be able to beat him in a fist fight, because he's been shot a couple of times. Oh, he's just right in the back there. And this... Normally this would look less brutal, because we'd have started the mission before we went into the corner to murder that man. Tragic how it happens. Let me just check my timer. Okay, that's probably going to be about it for this this one. Well, that's going to be the fighting for this one. That went quite well. It went better than first time, where I ended up running into the corner and being terrified. And then, once you're out of fights... Okay, yeah, he had 357 actually. Oh, possibly the 44. Once you're out of fights, you can search all the bodies from anywhere, which is very handy. We're just going to dump out all the gear. This we're going to wear. Don't really want the pistol. And there's a lot of loot in this game. Enemies can have a lot of containers on them, all of which can contain different kinds of loot. Only thing we really care about right now is this. We can drop that and we'll take the 1911. Ooh, we might need an extra magazine for that at some point. Let me try and sort out my inventory here. That will work. First, we're going to talk to Paquito. I'm going to drop a quick save before we talk to Paquito, because there's a bug. Please enjoy my massive amount of save files from where I tested different equipment loadouts. We have found the bottle. That is Paquito's child, who was lost. Paquito he's a free recruit, and he'll stay with you for the rest of the game unless he gets killed or you send him away. However, he's quite badly bugged also. And he's going to give us the key to our car, which is very handy, because we can now drive that car and get to places quickly. Let's see if it happens. Okay, we gave him an order and he didn't freeze the game. He did move the roof, but that's fine. He comes with a Thompson Center Contender, which is a weapon that if you change the barrel, it can fire a huge degree of different ammunition. A huge amount of different ammunition. Now, before when I played it, this 5.56 was what got my attention. But there's also this, he's done the thing. Yeah, this happened a lot when I was playing before. So, every time you load up the game, the first time Paquito has to speak, which he'll do sometimes when he completes an order you give him, the game can't find in the folders where Paquito's voice is. So it's having a real time now looking for the line, what is it? Roger that or something? Copy that? It really can't find it. And it's freaking out right now. But that's fine, because it probably won't crash. The game, the longer you play it for in one sitting, the higher the chance it'll crash. If you've been playing an hour, you want to worry when something like this happens. If you've been playing 2 hours, you probably should have just turned the game off manually and loaded it back up. There's a memory leak, so the longer you play the game for, the more trouble you're going to find yourself having. With pleasure, that's the line. Thank you, Paquito. But this is 6.8mm. This is new super ammo from
with pleasure.
Army Boys. And we got some other stuff here. We're not too worried about the long Colt, but it does come in boxes of 50. That's 357, I think. 44? 44. 45-7 is for some very old lever action rifles, which there's a few of in the game. And 410 flechette rounds. I'm not too keen on the 410. It's a shotgun round. In this game, it doesn't really do it for me. I could run off and get that Beretta, but I'm just going to check if any of these guns are not too crappy. You want to pay attention to the... This stuff is going to get sold, so I'm just going to dump it all on the floor for now. You want to pay attention to the dirt and wear of weapon. When you're choosing which one's good enough to take, you don't really need to look at dirt, because there's these weapon cleaning kits all over the place, which will let you completely remove dirt from weapons. They're a lot harder to repair, though. And the higher the wear is, the more chance of them jamming when you try and shoot them. Albeit, we're unlikely to jam a revolver. That would be unlucky. But, I'm sure they have some kind of malfunction that's possible. So I don't... I'd be careful about that. Okay, another thing we can do. We're gonna sell his child as well. That's just gonna happen. It's sad for him. Another thing you can do in this game. So when we were reloading in the fight there, that was because the character was going into their inventory, opening the box, taking the shells out of the box, and then putting them into the weapon. We can skip one of those steps by just having a pocket full of loose shotgun shells, which we all now do with both characters. Paquito also got a 12 gauge, which I'm pretty happy about. That's a decent gun to find this early on. Oh, it's in crap condition. But, hey, you can't get that lucky all the time. I'm sorry about moving the game around in the background there. It just does that. This game is very jank. It's also quite fun, and I hope we can experience that next time. I'm just gonna drop the save again. And that's gonna be the end of the part. Thank you for watching if you did watch. Hopefully gonna make a better go of it this time. Yeah, I'll see you then. I stopped the timer instead of the recording. Sorry.